And welcome everyone to Triton-Cup 104. I am Pat here with Anson and ready to watch this wonderful tournament. If you're new to Triton-Cup, this is a double elimination, zones only. I am Pat here with Anson. Anson, how you doing?
I am doing wonderfully this morning. I'm excited to watch some high octane zones gameplay.
Yeah, and we'll start right away with our middle seeds, of course. That's going to be we win in it against Slasher. So that's your two teams for the start. Slasher, notably, I recognize on that team Slasher, a wonderful Stamper player that you really have to pay attention to, otherwise you're in trouble. I mean, both of these teams have names that come to Triton-Cup often, so I expect to see good games, starting with Inglot Art Academy, and very much a classic since Splatoon 2. Of course, with on zones, we get that big middle hill that's going to decide a lot of games.
Yes. And so we're gonna start here, as you said, on Inkbot. We're gonna see what these teams are bringing. We see the heavy splatling, and we're going to be seeing kind of we're gonna see the Luna there coming out from We Win.
Yeah, we win with the Luna, the other Luna that has these fizzy bombs and the hammers. That's I mean, the hammers has been buffed, and I've seen people play the Luna more and more since that. Yeah, we'll see how these two teams can do. Right now, it's the fight for the zone, and Slasher forced to move away, kind of brought out, but thanks to the crab tank, they're able to keep themselves onto the zone, and the fight is certainly not over, Ansonen.
Yeah, neither side able to get an advantage here. Zone not ticked down by anybody, as neither side has grabbed control. It's going to need to take a push here. That Stamp seems like it's going to be the thing that starts it off. That's one pick on both sides. As the Zipcaster comes out from Slasher, but it ends up not finding anything. Slasher take control of the zone, however.
Yeah, Slasher able to put themselves on the zone, but not for long. Teams are still struggling to really establish control. We are finally past the 90-point marks, and we win in it. Looks like they are, this time, in control of the zone, pushing forward. Rafa going in, getting instantly punished, and pushed out. Slasher very much on the back foot right now. Oh! And losing a crab to a curling bomb! How often does that happen?
Unfortunate there. We went in it. Gonna push off the back of that. 40 points remaining to Stamp. Find Slasher. Good use of that special both sides have here.
Yep.
And, you know, now they're gonna try to contain control of the zone here for about 20 more ticks. Timbit looking for that player up at the top.
Yep. We have a fight. Bridget with that heavy splatling is going to be splatted by the hammer. Slasher still fighting to apply penalty. They have the presence, but We Win are still keeping the tiny amount of paint on the ground. That's enough to keep the zone neutral right there. Slasher going around in a Zipcaster, getting punished by the crab, and the zone is still neutral, Ansonen.
It's still neutral, and that means there's no penalty on the side of We Win in it. 8 ticks remaining. It needs to be painted green, and it will. Slasher just staving off. Map 1 falling out of their hands right there. And now they're going to push up on their enemy plat here. Try to find some picks, try to find some stall. Because, I mean, they don't have any penalty points to work through here. They can end it with a couple of defense.
I mean, We Win in it were able to hold control for so long right there. Now it's Slasher's turn, and they're doing the job perfectly. Tiger going in with that roller, but forced to activate the bubbler very far away from the zone. Now the hammer going in by Timbit. It's enough to cap, and that capping, that applying of penalty by We Win is so important going into the last minute and a half.
Yes, only a minute and a half left on the clock here. And the points are low for We Win In It, who just need to maintain control for about 20-30 more seconds here, and they will take a map 1. But they're getting pushed back here, and Slasher finds an amazing pick with that Zipcaster. The stamp goes out as well, and it manages to pick up one as well, but it's a 2-2 trade. And Docting able to find that pick onto Timbit there that gives Slasher control over this point. It was a close fight there. We Win In It almost staved off, almost punished the non-super members there. Oh, another good pick out there coming from Docting.
Yeah, Slasher very much doing what they need to do to maintain the control, and with that wipeout, we're winning it now. They need to run at the zone, paint it as fast as they can, because they only have a few seconds left, and the crab tank is deployed on top mid with the pencil to assist right now. The hammer is dropped onto the zone, that hammer needs to paint, the lead is taken, but there will be no KO for Slasher. We're winning it, are back into this game, but they lost already 3 players. As Slashers are taking back control in this last 15 seconds of the game.
An amazing pick there onto Tiger. 10 seconds remaining, and Slasher have that 1-point lead. Out comes the stamp, it finds Timbit. And that might be all they need. Finds the last member as well. And Slasher, with an insane comeback in that map, managed to take map 1 by a singular point.
A single point between these two teams, that's how close it was, especially since both teams could have KO'd during this game. We really had these teams able to use their controls so well to stay in control of the map once they were in. Now, it was rough pushing on this map. It was rough getting back onto the map. Now, going back this time on Museum de Alfonsino, teams will always have the opportunity to drop to the side, will always have the opportunity to hold control of their own platform. So we'll see if it's a bit more balanced, if there's a bit more ways to get a comeback.
We will see, but I'm excited for the rest of the series. Both teams showing that they're equally matched here and ready to bring, you know, high-level Splat Zones gameplay. So, what will we see changes? Will we not see any changes? Looks like it's going to be the same comp coming out from both sides here. Oh, there is that tent umbrella coming out from Rafa.
Yeah, Rafa ditching the shooter in favor of a tent. That tent could take a lot of control, but we'll have to make do with the Stamper on the other side. Stamper is so good to counter umbrellas. So, but right now we're within it, are taking control over the zone as all of Slashers are to the same side of the map and trying to get in. They get the numbers advantage, and it looks like they're going forward. Very nice trade onto the tent.
Insane trade onto Rafa there. It's going to put Slasher in a good position to get these points and take this forward map control. Lead is going to swap here right before we went in. It's preparing to push back in, and the tent umbrella is down again. Another great pick onto that umbrella, and the second one comes out as well. Puts Slasher in an amazing position to hold off this push.
Yeah, Slasher to the side, maintaining presence, but getting punished by Tiger with the roller. And it's more action. 2 down onto Slasher. They're forced out. They're kind of clumped next to their Tacticular and get punished for the hammer right there. Huge control by We Win In It. All of Slashers are stuck on their side of the map. The hammer will not find its target right there. And now it's on Slasher to prepare a push.
Alright, Slasher has to come back in this, and that's an amazing pick on Tiger to start things off. 2 down on the side We Win In It, and it's actually going to be 4. And a wipeout coming out from the side of Slasher there. At an amazing pivotal time here. They're going to be able to set up so far. You see Docting's positioning getting all the way up on that high ground to the right. It's going to get pushed off by Bridget, but it's close fight either way. And so much forward control gain just by that positioning.
Oh yeah, I mean, we win in it right there. Are still struggling, but with a few extra spots, they should be able to put themselves on the zone, I was about to say, but right now it looks like they're in danger. Their wiper is to the side, kinda isolated, and the Slasher holding that zone. If they're able to not get penalty, they could get the KO on Sanen.
And they reapply the paint before the penalty. And that means they only have 10 ticks remaining here to take map 2 and take this series. We went in it, trying to come back in. It's gonna apply the penalty. Pivotal moment, but they don't have map control yet. They need these picks to get one member to retreat. You take that, and that allows you to start pushing up here. You have the specials on your side, but the Tent Umbrella goes down again, but it's a trade out onto Docting here. And there's that stamp, but it's Slashers, and it manages to get 2.
Yeah, and right now, it's still a fight for the zone. Rafa painting with that tap forced to the side because of a pencil. They're not able to take control of the zone yet, and with 2 players down, it looks like Slasher are getting the edge once again. And our Tiger to the side with that roller is completely alone and stopped. Really, Slasher are getting the splats they need to get and all the control.
Penta out, Rafa here to the left, try and find picks with that. Zuka is not going to find anything. And now that Crab Tank coming out to stall from Slasher could be the thing that puts the nail in the coffin. Out comes the big bubbler. Is it going to be enough paint? It's not going to be enough paint here. But we went in it, pushes the pencil back, and manages to grab the zone, but it's 2 down in response, and the Stamp's going to pick up the 3rd.
Yeah, and that's another retake for Slasher, still maintaining presence, maintaining their lead. Just 40 seconds left into the game, and Slasher are on a rampage right now, maintaining so much pressure onto Wewin in it. Wewin in it, they don't have much time left, and they lost 2 players again. They need to push now.
30 seconds remaining. The Tenta caught out. We went in it, has to make a manic push right now, or they're going to be losing this map 2 and the series. But now they have specials. Can they make something happen? Timbit off the top, from the top rope. It gets 1, but it gets traded.
They were able to capture. They were able to capture in time for overtime. Now Bridget is very much forward with that Splatling, is forced out by the Crab Tank. Crab Tank is too far to paint the zone, I think, which means we win in it, get a little bit of reprieve. The Tent just there to maintain pace, to deny the push. They only need to hold for a few more ticks, but all of Slashers are there, and it's only Rafa left on the zone. That's going to be 2-0 for Slasher.
Slasher playing fantastically that game, and they were just putting on the pressure till we went in it. It was time after time we went in it, would try to make a fast, aggressive push off of the respawn, and Slasher was just prepared. They were finding that Tenta, the key component of those pushes. They were finding that Tenta picks so often throughout that. And the Tenta was playing really well. It was a coordinated effort from Slasher to kind of pick apart this We Went In Its team and those aggressive pushes, and the game plan worked perfectly there to secure map 2.
Hey, a good stamper is so dangerous for a Tent, and we saw that in full display from Slasher right there. That's going to be round number 1. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We have another set of 3 maps for you to watch. It's going to be between This House Has People in It and Ghost. And looking at this map selection, I'm excited.
Yeah, we have Umami Ruins as the start. Very much a classic map where you often see teams try to get ahead of the zone, get control on the enemy snipe so that they can get a spawn camp their opponent. Then we'll see what happens in Humpback, which is always a surprise to see on zones. But I mean, it's Triton-Cup, it's the zones tournament, so you have to see all of the map. And yeah, it's a map that does happen. I wonder which team chose what. Let me check. So Umami Ruins was chosen by Ghost, and this house chose to go on Humpback. That's
Okay. Well, sorry, my mind just decided to freeze.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, we're going to get in. We're not going to get in the game because Kera DC'd. So we're going to we're going to pause the game, and we'll be right back after that fourth gets back in the lobby.
Unfortunate disconnect right there. But again, right at the beginning of the game, we can get the player in here and figure things out. But, you know, gotta see some of those comps. Everything kind of looks, you know, very standard, pencil on both sides. I didn't really see anything that stuck out. So these teams are kind of just sticking to the standard here. Good, solid weapons. So it's going to be really a battle about who's got, you know, a better strategy or better mechanics.
I mean, that's usually what you want on zones, especially for Triton, where lots of great teams like to register. Is you want to test what's solid, what works well with others, what works well in so many different situations, and that's what these teams are bringing right here. We'll see if they're able to do so. I'm getting informed that yeah, there's no problem. That person is getting back in the room. We should have a game very fast, Anzanen.
So we're gonna get into things really soon here, and you know, there it is. There's the transition. See exactly what these comps are. It's going to be a decaf squeezer comp coming out from this house, and we're going to be seeing that Nautilus coming out from Ghost. Love seeing the Nautilus, one of my favorite weapons to watch.
Yeah, it works well, especially when there's paint, and with a junior on their team to help with it, that's going to be a good amount of paint. Now this house coming in pretty strong, opening with the Power Flower, really taking a lot of control thanks to that gal. That's going to be control over the zones for this house, as Ghost in pink is going to try to prepare a push now.
Gonna have to prepare a push, and out comes the screen from this house to try to stall and get some more space, but with those picks going down, it's gonna allow Ghost a chance to get back in here on this map. And, you know, we see the bubbler come out, but the junior gets splatted, the Nautilus goes down, and this house keeping the control of the zone quite well. But as soon as I say that, 3 go down, a late bubble, bit of a panic bubble, and that's going to allow Ghost to get back in, apply that penalty, and start working on their own push.
Yeah, right now that penalty is a huge sigh of relief for them, as Ghost is trying to establish some control, but already this house is coming back onto the zone, ready to fight. One zone is taken, but it's double zones. You have to take both if you want to apply penalty, and right now this house just lost a few too many players. Will they be able to paint right now? We're still fighting for mid.
out comes out the Ink Storm there to slowly push Ghost onto this point, but penalty will be applied at this house, getting the splats here to put themselves in a good position, and now, I mean, Ghost, they're already back though. The power of Cooler, they're gonna have to push through this screen though, and that's gonna be Mond going down, Flower pushing up, finds 2 more! What a play!
That is a huge play by Flower right there. As now Ghost need to prepare another push from scratch. I mean, oh, nice bomb on the bubbler will allow Mond to maybe get in, but not activate the bubbler. This house still holding, and with 20 ticks left onto the zone, it's going to be very rough for Ghost. They need to go in, they have the cooler, they need to get onto at least one of the zones and paint it.
Well,
and
they
do it.
One zone, but they're not able to keep it painted, and so the ticks are going to go down, and this house has people, and it will take map 1.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost took one zone, delayed the damage, but didn't manage to do more, didn't manage to keep themselves there, and this house has people on it able to take game number 1 in a great commanding fashion. I mean, that was a nice opening game by them. Now, going into Humpback Pump Track, a map that they chose, a map that they put onto their list, they have to feel pretty confident.
Yeah, going onto your own map pick is always a massive advantage here. And, you know, this isn't a zone, the map that we see all too often. It's not too uncommon, but, you know, it's got that circular top of the hill point that's, you know, really hard to fight over, but a lot of space around that to flank and make plays. So I'm excited to see how this house is going to play their own map, or does Ghost have something cooked up as well?
I mean, this is the kind of map that we usually see for Rainmaker. This is to me, like, this is the Rainmaker map, and we're seeing it on zone changes the dynamic of the map completely, where everybody plays all around the map much more, and you have quite usually a flank that is going to be done on the enemy street. But as you said, this is a good map for surprises, where a team can bring a weapon that's going to fight differently, that's going to create a lot of different opportunities. I guess this house has a plan, at least. For it, we'll see if Ghost is able to answer the call, say with a roller or with a bucket.
Roller and bucket are great choices here, I think. But, you know, I've seen, you know, these team comps playing a lot less of those buckets that we tend to see, like Tri-Slosher, the occasional machine, and, you know, do you have that in your back pocket still, is the question as a team. And we'll be seeing these team comps. It's going to be a roller. It's going to be that carbon roller coming out from Amo here. And
from Flower. Both teams are bringing the carbon. That's going to be a carbon duel, which we'll love to see. Very fast weapon that loves to run forward, get into fight. And right now, this house is forced to lose the zone for a second, but they get the splats, so it doesn't matter. They're going to take control on Ghost. In a delayed wipe right now, and Flower is already pushing to the side, going in, and there's more splats coming.
Flower trying to get a pick off here in this position. That Zuka could... No, it doesn't end up picking up a person, but Flower doing a lot of good stall here in this position. Gonna try to go in, finds the fellow Carbon here, picks out Amo, and with 50 ticks remaining, this map choice is looking fantastic for this house.
This house playing very well, but the zone is neutralized, but penalty was not applied, and Ghost, despite getting several splats, were not able to push in, were not able to take control. This house still in control of the zone. Carbon coming in for a trade right now. The Zuka is going to get extra splats, and it looks like Mond will be able to take control thanks to the genius paint.
Just noticed something as well. that this house is using the vanilla mini here. Again, I haven't really played in a long time, but I'm hearing Burst Bomb is really good right now. So you've got 2 Burst Bombs on the side of this house here. And Flower with a spectacular double splat there.
Flower activating Bazooka, maintaining so much pressure and forcing Ghost to dance to the side right now. But there's a lot of penalties still on this house who need to wait, who need to prepare for the next push by Ghost. Ghost have a few specials ready, and Mond is already running onto the zone, activating Bobabla, punishing the hammer as well. That's an easy zone retake by Ghost.
And finds a pick on the Flower as well, gets traded out, but you more than take that ammo with a spectacular pick on the Care. But out comes a Stamp here. Does it find anything? It finds the pick onto the Junior, but it's 2 down on the side of this house. Penalty is gone, and Ghosts are making some amazing picks in place right now.
I mean, Ghosts are holding the zone, are going in. That's a very nice splat by their Carbon, able to get away with it too. And now activating Bazooka, trying to find an extra splat. We're close to the lead being swapped by Ghost, but as I say that, this house able to apply penalty, but it's only their mini right now. The mini is forced out, is going to get the drink. Wait, they were able to get the jumps as well. The rest of the team is going to respawn, and it looks like this house is keeping the zone, Ansonen.
Yes, and they managed to find 2 picks out here before Cooler could come out, but it's a shutdown onto the Stamp in response. 4 ticks remaining of penalty, and Ghost is going to try to push in and get control before that happens. That is exactly what will happen, but they go down for it. 2 down on the side of Ghost, but it's a spectacular double splat coming out here from Amo.
Yeah, I mean, power of a good Carbon doing it again. This house has the lead, but only by a few points, and now Ghost are on the zone, are ready to fight. Mond going in, not able to get the zone, and with 3 down, Ghosts are in trouble with just a few more ticks left onto the zone.
Ooh. Spectacular pick coming out from Flower, and these Carbons on both sides are playing absolutely amazing. Spectacular choice coming out from these 2 teams, and there's 8 ticks remaining here. Ghost needs to push in, and I don't think they can get on the point quick enough, and that is going to be the case. This house going to snag map 2 on Humpback Pump Track, and going to be taking this series 2-0.
Yeah, great games by this house, has people in it. Very much, I mean, they took control of the game, and as you said, both of these teams had the Carbon absolutely taking control, absolutely getting all of the splats, and that's the power of Humpback Pump Track. A good Carbon, or any roller, is going to shine, is going to apply so much damage, and Ghost not able to fully come back from that, which means they're going to go to the low bracket. Ansonen, and as for us, we'll take a short break. face each other today, Antonin.
Yes.
Oh? Welcome. Can you hear me? Are we live? Yes, we are live. Okay, so it's Frutella versus Camden. Let's get with it.
Frutella versus Camden here. We're gonna have Scorch Gorge here on that first map. This is a zone, certainly a zone map.
Yep.
It exists in the game, and it has a wide middle area that you kind of just have to commit into getting into, and you know that leads to a lot of pushes getting shut down. There's no real way to back up. It's going to be a brawl here around that zone. And we're going to be seeing the E-leader come out from Frutella here. And Camden, nothing special about these choices, but they are solid.
Yeah, Camden very much solid right now. Opening pretty strong on the side of Camden thanks to the Stamper. And there's a lot of back and forth. Frutella is forced out. David 4K with that E-liter right now is kind of forced out, but is looking to find a way in. Camden very much holding strong. The S-Blast on this map is so dangerous. I mean, that's why Camden put that on their map list.
Yes, S-Blast spectacular here, and Camden has that spectacular S-Blast player. But the Stamper trying to find the pick here, and out comes the Tri-Strikes. It's going to be a Booyah in response onto that high ground. It manages to pick up one, and Camden, again, you have to commit into falling into this pit, falling into this zone, and they're just getting these picks as the members commit.
Ooh, yeah, and with 20 ticks left, Frutella needs to paint right now. They're able to punish all the frontliners and take control. Now it's their turn to have the S-Blast in the dangerous position. Jeff is not wasting a second, as now it's on Frutella to push. It's on Camden to push.
Yes, and you see that Frutella, they're actually pushing up here, going past the blades and taking it to Camden. I love the confidence here coming out from Frutella. It's what you want. It's how you want to play here with that Gal instead of the pencil. Not Gal, ends out.
Yep. Oops.
Sometimes things happen.
Yeah, it does happen right now. Frutella were able to get a good amount of points, but the penalty is applied by Camden. Everybody dies right there. Back in the last standing for Camden is forced out. As all of Frutella were able. Oh wait, no, Mia is back into in position with that S-Blast as Camden is taking out their penalty now.
Yep, here we see those burst bombs doing such amazing work over these ledges, keeping Frutella on the back foot here, having to keep painting their feet. Out comes the Tri-Strikes here, but it's 2 down on the side of Frutella. But there is a pick in response. But Camden, they're holding on, and that's no penalty left. 10 ticks remaining. Frutella on the back foot here as they just keep going down.
And I mean, Camden getting the extra splat to seal the deal in the end. Very nice game number 1 by Camden. Frutella not really able to establish themselves the way they wanted to. They had control of the zone for a while. They were able to push ahead, but they were not able to really take control of the game the way Camden did, which means Camden are going to get game number 1. But now, Antonin, we are going onto Museum d'Alfonsino, and this time it's Frutella that chose the map.
Yes, Camden takes their map pick, but now we're going to see if Frutella can respond here. Camden played exceptionally well on that first map. This second map is going to be a brawl. It's going to be back and forth. And Museum, Frutella's choice, excited to see what they bring here. Because, you know, the S-Blast was definitely a targeted pick there for that map. Although, you know, you can kind of play it on anything. but are we going to see a switch up? Are we going to see the same weapons? I'm excited to see.
I don't think the weapons really need to change, especially the S-Blast can work, as you say, well, pretty much anywhere. Museum also has very important ledges, very nice spots for it, so we'll see how these two teams adapt, how they change the game. Right now it's on Frutella to really change things, and they drop the S-Blast in favor of a bucket right there, and a 52 gal, so they'll still have a lot of fighting power, but they won't have that same AoE that they had.
Yeah, a lot more direct fighting power. I kind of like this switch up here from Frutella, but we'll see how it works out. And so far, it's working out not so well here as Candon makes such a good push, but that is an amazing pick from 4K.
Yeah, Devin 4K with the leader right there, able to really punish people for standing in the open. It's going to be Frutella taking control of the map now. Can then get a push. They already dropped to the side. Oh, that was Bake! Their pencil dropping and getting punished by the gal. That is huge for Frutella. They are now getting more and more splats. That's great momentum for them.
Absolutely spectacular momentum here. Jeff in a fantastic position, has that wall to keep themselves safe, and they're going to put as much forward pressure as they can, and they get out with a jump. That allows Frutella to keep their members alive for this push, but it's the first one down. Out comes the Booyah, out comes the Spider-Man. Will it find the villains? It won't. Oh, with the pick at the very end. That's going to allow Canada to get in, get this zone painted. But it's back and forth. Jeff with a fantastic pick is going to make this a 2v2. But that just works in Canada's favor as they have zone.
I mean, Canada able to set themselves on the zone this time. Is able to score points. But Frutella is already back on the attack. Thanks to the strikes, they neutralize the zone. They take a lot of control. But Canada is still around, still ready to defend right now as Frutella are... I'm not able... Oh, okay, Frutella are coming in this time. They're on the zone, and with the slusher, they're taking a lot of control. The Scrap Tank is done. Penalties applied, and that bucket is still there, Antonin.
A bucket somehow manages to jump out. Insane plays coming out from the bucket, but Mia here in a fantastic position. Frutella gets caught out, and now that S-Blast gets played her left, he gets splatted. Out comes the killer whale. Jeff on the right's gonna go down to Egoist, and now 40 points remaining. The penalty is dwindling down, but he gets another pick from that E-leader to neutralize things.
Yeah, great moves right there by Frutella, who are able to paint the zone again, but they need to paint it a bit more. We're close to a lead swap, Antonin, and Canada are holding their own, are able to delay you down on Frutella. That's going to be the lead. That could be even more for Canada right there. Canada able to simply hold control, and with just a few more ticks, Canada looking for a KO.
Unfortunate, and they weren't able to get that zone swapped when they got that lead. Had to focus on some important splats, and they ended up not getting them. But Camden playing fantastically well to secure that map to put themselves on series point here going into map 3. Frutella on the back foot. That was their map choice. As we go on to Barnacle and Dime here, you gotta ask yourself, does something need to change? I mean, they played fantastic, right? Frutella played absolutely amazingly well at that point, but they just weren't able to close it out. But you're still down 2 maps here in this series.
I mean, Frutella able to do nicely for themselves. They had control of the zone for so long in this game, but they were not able to deny that final push by Camden, and Camden, by simply holding the zone right there, didn't let Frutella get that push back in. They didn't do anything special, I feel like, on the side of Camden. It was really playing faster, playing a bit more coordinated. Frutella, they're coming back, but they're still a bit rusty. They're still trying to find their groove right there with an incomplete roster as well. So that's certainly not over though, because Antonin, we're now in a best of 5. We have at least one more game to go.
At the very least, yes, we get to see this Barnacle and Dime. Will Frutella bring us to Robo Ramen? Will we see a 4 or 5 game series? It's all decided here on Barnacle and Dime. I mean, the pressure's on, right? Camden, they're coasting here. Yes, Frutella's, playing amazingly in these maps, definitely making them play, to their full potential. But you're up 2 maps in a series. You've got the wind in your sails. Frutella swimming against the current here is going to have to try to figure out, a strategy change, or maybe they just need to lock in.
Yeah, they do need to lock in. They do need to make it work. Frutella not changing their comp. They know they have the tools. They only need to simply hold for 5 minutes, make sure that they don't do that extra mistake that caused them in the previous game. Now, Camden, all they need is one more game. Jeff already going in with the 52 cow. Is in a 1v2 though. Is going to be punished pretty quickly. And Camden are taking control right away, Antonin.
I like the thought of that play there coming out from Jeff, but it just didn't work out. 2 members coasting to that right, taking an aggressive position, and they get shut down. Egoist finding the picks there, going to put themselves on a 20-point lead, and Camden in a fantastic position, but now they go 2 down. Frutella find the picks. Camden get a little bit too hungry for map control, and kind of what expected on Barnacle and Dime, a map that is so good at pushing forward on. But that's 2 down, 2 more down on Cannon as the crab comes out. Killer Whale. I could have sworn I saw a crab, but I might be going crazy. Jeff here, fantastic positioning with this gal, and now you're gonna try to see Frutella. They have that cooler. They can see if they can push up here on Barnacle and Dime. Kind of what you need to do, but there's a member in their back. It's the Zipcaster. The Zipcaster puts them in fantastic positions to get splatted. Camden get 2 splats here, and now they have the zone.
They have the zone, and they have the crab deployed on the zone simply to keep Frutella away, push them back in their own spawn. Camden very much taking control. That's what we expect from them, really, to push forward, try to set themselves up as far away from the zone as they can, as Frutella is now preparing their next push.
They have these They no longer have the tri-strikes. 4K is getting pushed here by that Zipcaster. Jeff in a precarious situation, but Bake goes down there, a spectacular pick onto that pencil, going to eliminate the cooler option from it, but Sigma goes down to Mia here on that left side, playing that ledge with that S-Blast, and there's 10 ticks remaining. Camden finding the picks, as Abuya is going to take 1, Sigma, there comes out that crab from Cannon, and Camden looked like they're going to close it up, but somehow the zone got swapped, penalty has been applied.
Yeah, and right now Camden are still holding their own, holding the zone, but they lost 2 players. Frutella going in, going forward with the strikes and the camp on the jumps. They're going to retake the zone. Now, with 2 minutes and some left in the game, Antonin, Frutella are very much moving in, getting more and more momentum. As Camden are now pushed back in their own spawn. It's their turn to be stuck there.
Such a good aggressive push with that cooler. It ends up not grabbing picks, but it's what's needed at a time like this. But Ego is a spectacular crab to push Frutella back. They get 3 picks. It's an extended wipeout there. And now Frutella, they have to push back here. 50 ticks remaining here until map 3 slides out of their fingers. And that Stamper getting some spectacular picks, but the Whale comes out, gets some damage here, and Frutella gonna try to push off the back of that.
Yeah, we're still fighting for that zone. Camden still holding their lead, and look at that penalty. There's no penalty left. Frutella needs to paint right now, and they're able to do so. They're able to push ahead of the zone. But can they take the control? It's only Bakke left for Camden, as Frutella are keeping themselves alive. They have 1 minute to get the comeback now. And it looks like Frutella are holding pretty well. They have no penalty left. Camden preparing their push. They know they only have a few seconds left. They activate the Booyah Ball and the Crab Tank trying to go in 2 down onto Frutella. Frutella trying to hold just a few more seconds. One more tick would make the whole difference, but Camden stays in the lead. Gets back control, only 30 seconds left and 3 players down onto Frutella. It looks like Camden is now on a victory lap, Antonin.
An insane defense there. 1 tick remaining, and then they get the picks with such little time on the clock. Frutella, is there anything that they can do? 6 ticks remaining. There's the first pick. The zone gets neutralized. The paint goes down. The zone gets swapped, but there's 2 picks down. Out comes the cooler. Sigma needs to get this pick. The jump comes in. They get 2. They get 3.
They're alive! They're still alive. Bakke forced to jump out to save the tactical. Camden doesn't have much time. Camden, they need to run forward right now. Use everything they have. Frutella has the strikes and are ready to hold. The Crab Tank is deployed. Here comes the strikes to counter it. The Booyah Bomb is thrown at the zone. Frutella painting over it. They're keeping it and they are putting a point on the board, Antonin.
What a play from Sigma there. Grabs 3, grabs the jump, and puts them back in the map. The paint there at the last second to take the zone. What a play coming out from Frutella. And they survive. They keep this series going, and you need that breather. And that's also, I mean, you're going to be on that momentum now. You're feeling yourself after, you know, a play like that. You're feeling yourself after a map like that. Take that momentum and the high into Robo Ramen, and we could see a map 5 here.
I mean, everything is possible, but it's not over. I mean, we've had close games, especially this last one. Now, Camden are ready to show revenge. We are going to a map that both of these teams have chosen again. So, and I mean, there's a reason why. It's very much a classic. It's very much the kind of map where any kind of strategies can work, especially with both of these teams having 2 of the best snipers in Europe between Bakke and Devin 4K. Get ready for good snipes, for good charger positioning.
And we've seen, you know, snipes coming out from both of these sides. 4K on that E leader, playing absolutely fantastic. But Camden's sniper, on the other hand, as well, absolutely playing amazing as well. Playing that pencil, getting some great coolers out, and some fantastic picks as well. So, you know, on this map, that's going to be an important distinction on who out. Oh my god. Who. I'm unable to speak.
You can do it. I believe in you. Take your time.
Who comes out as the victor? I don't know why that was so hard to say.
You did it. You did. I'm proud of you, Antonin.
My tongue got twisted for a second there. Sorry. That's going to be the deciding factor on who comes out as the victor on this map. Is, you know, whose backline plays stronger, but, you know, everything's important when it comes down to Robo Ramen.
Yeah.
Who gets those flanks, you know, who gets that cooler output, well-timed specials. Crab, very important for a decent chunk, I think, of the beginning of this map's meta. I think probably still now. I don't know how it developed. Yeah. It was who got Crab first.
Crab is still very much relevant, especially on this map. And that's, I mean, that could play into Camden's favor right there. Frutella are not done though. They're shown that they can get the comeback, but they can still fight. And right now, let's see how the opening fight works. It looks like Frutella are going to get a free pick before the Tacticulars are deployed. That's pretty nice for them.
That's 90 picks remaining. Killer Rail comes out, and Jeff getting that initial pick. We've seen this swap onto the Gal has been spectacular for Jeff.
Yeah.
They've been playing absolutely fantastic with these picks.
Right.
That's going to be Mia going down to Sigma there, allowing Frutella to keep control over this zone, and they're going to push up. You can see that aggressive shield positioning. The Ink Mines put in such an aggressive position as well, stopping Candon from pushing off the back. But out comes the cooler. The Tri-Strikes almost pick up Bake, but they allow Mia to go down there. The aggressive push. It's 3 down on the side of Candon. It's just Egoista left with that Soda. The movement is crazy. They get out of there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. The Gal's in such a good position that they end up making a trade.
It's like Frutella woke up for that overtime and they haven't stopped. Right, the 10 ticks left onto the zone and there's nobody from Candon to paint. That's 100-0 for Frutella, who get to a game 5 in a commanding fashion.
Well, that's how you take that momentum. That's a masterclass on Robo Ramen right there, coming up from Frutella. They just kind of won. They took fights, won them out pretty much every time, and it was great positioning. It was great mechanics, and they really played to that Gal's strength. I think playing super aggressive on Robo Ramen, very important, and with that splash wall, you're able to take aggressive positioning, the Ink Mines to catch them if they need to retreat. Good plays coming out from Frutella just all around, and that's what you need to take into a game 5 is momentum like that.
Yeah, I mean, right there. Candon, who were looking like the strongest team in the first 2 games, in that final, like that 4th game, it was all Frutella taking control, winning every fight, painting the zone, painting around the zone to really take control. Now going onto Hagglefish Market, very much a classic, very much a great map for backlines again. I'm pretty much repeating myself a lot at this point, but hey, these are good backlines map. We'll see how Frutella and Candon are able to do in this decider game.
Okay, when I heard Burst was